All right, guys. Today we are going to be reacting to Andrew Wilson versus liberal on the suffragists. Let's jump in.
Because you own property and have a job makes you a feminist.
Vote. Yes, that's
but that does
way
not make you a feminist.
Why would property ownership
I believe in gender roles. I believe that there are roles for men, and I believe that there are roles for women.
Okay, so that's traditional.
Yeah. So why would property ownership of women be a rejection of patriarchy?
I mean, from my understanding, women weren't able to own property, but I could be
Well,
wrong.
your understanding is flawed. They were able to own property.
Okay,
They've always
but they
been able to
couldn't
own
vote
property.
and all the other important stuff, so that's besides the point.
Agree to disagree.
I don't think it's beside the point. Because
Yeah, if
No,
you
literally.
okay, let's
By
just
the way,
clarify.
they
Do
were
you
always
think
able to
women
work.
should have the right to vote?
Hang on, stop. Let me finish. They were always able to work, and they were always able to own property. They weren't always able to vote, but most men were not always able to
Most
vote.
women
Almost no
weren't
men, in
working,
fact,
though.
were ever able to vote.
But
They only
most-
got the vote a few years before women got the vote.
Most women were not working and did not own property. That would be an exception.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they couldn't.
They still
But
could.
Just because
but it
they
wasn't a normal
didn't,
thing.
right?
It wasn't something that every woman was capable of doing. Now it is. That's
It's not.
feminism.
It wasn't a thing every man was capable of doing.
Okay, but you're not arguing that that's a bad thing. You're arguing that women being able to vote and such
Split.
is.
Yeah, but you just said that women, because not all women could own property because they didn't have the resources or capability to do so,
Wrong.
that meant it was a rejection of patriarchy. That's insane. That doesn't even logically track. Can you explain why that would logically track, or why it is that if women work, that would be a rejection of patriarchy? It makes no sense to me.
I mean, what you consider to be patriarchy is that the woman stays at home and fulfills her traditional gender role.
No, I didn't
she-
say anything about that. All patriarchy means is from the father. That's it.
From
it
the
just means
father.
that women and men have a different role in society, and that
And
men
what are those
are in the top
roles?
echelons of that society, all the way down to the household.
Can I make a statement? The average.
Why could women not work under such a system? I don't understand. Can you explain that?
He's very well seasoned when it comes down to a lot of these tests. Again, we have one of these circumstances where another woman won't interject to save the other woman, and Andrew Wilson keeps moving forward. Very nice.
To me?
I mean, most of them weren't working.
Yeah, but most of them not working doesn't mean that most of them couldn't work.
I don't think most places at the time, if most men were in the workforce and a woman walked in and was like, "Hey, can you hire me? I'll do whatever." Like, I don't think they would have equal
Oh, but they
opportunity
did.
as a
They did the
man.
same shit then that they do now. They were teachers, and they worked as secretaries.
They were
and
nurses.
They worked in the service industry, and they worked as nurses. They did all the same shit that they do right now. In fact, they were sought after to do those jobs. In fact, even in the midst of the mostest patriarchy that we had, they were still sought after.
Can I
But
make
it
a
wasn't
statement?
common, and women still weren't able to vote.
Yeah, but
Hold on,
most
hold on.
men weren't
Wait,
able
wait,
to
wait.
vote.
Stop. Allow them to have a back and forth, please.
Right.
Andrew, make your point, then you respond.
Yeah, most men weren't able to vote. So what's your point? Suffrage
mean
was
when you
never
say most men
universal.
weren't
Hang
able
on,
to
stop spurging before I even get the point out. Suffrage was not universal for men or women. It was not universal. We did not have a universal suffrage in the United States until way later in its history. Do you understand that?
But I still think that everybody should have the ability to
That's
vote.
nice, but that really has nothing to do with feminism, right? So
does.
one
First wave
move of feminism
feminism.
is only for the vote, but when you say women couldn't vote, neither could most men.
Couldn't.
I mean, when you say most men, what do you mean by that?
Almost no men could vote.
Which men couldn't vote?
Hold on, I actually have something on
Do
this
you
really
have-
quickly. So, only 50 years, I just have this written down. It was only a 50-year period of time between the ratification of the 15th Amendment, which gave all men the right to vote in 1870, and the 19th Amendment, women's vote, in 1920. So there's only 50 years in America that all men could vote, that women cannot.
Okay, I just think women should have the right to vote.
Well, then
It's
why
very
did they all vote it down? When they were presented with the
Shit, our
option of
votes don't
voting for the
matter
right to
anyway.
vote.
100%.
When they were presented with the option of actually being able to vote for the right to vote, they
Everything's
voted
rigged.
against it. And so that's why he ended up with a amendment instead, because they went through the court
Most
system
women
instead
voted
for it,
against it.
because women didn't want the right to vote.
No, they
They
wanted the
needed-
right to vote. They didn't want to be drafted. There's a difference.
No, they didn't want the right to vote.
Yes, they
In
did.
fact,
They
the
just didn't want it to be
anti-suffrage-
connected
the
to the
anti, hang on.
draft.
How many women do you think wanted the right to vote?
I think
How many?
most of them didn't want to be drafted. and the right to vote was
So
connected
you,
to the
you,
draft.
you think that they should just be able to vote without having the responsibility of the draft?
Yeah, I don't think fighting in a war determines whether you're eligible or not.
Wow. Wow. Fighting a war has nothing to do with the rights of voting. And how are you going to defend it? That's the problem. How I think this is where the disconnect happened, because we relatively had a lot of peace in the last couple of years. But this concept in itself is just so far away for some folks. How can you defend your votes? The only way you can defend your votes if you have the opportunity to go to war and just defend yourself against an oppressor. That's the only way. Because without that enforcement, the exercise in itself has no meaning.
To participate in democracy.
That's how
Oh,
men got
great.
the vote.
So then,
I don't
just to
think
get
they
this
should
right,
have had the vote before.
you want men to go fight your wars while you vote that they do.
Women are fighting
Great.
in wars too. They just fight in the back line and they're on
And
the
they're
intelligence.
They're
Yeah, well,
volunteers.
that's nice that that Chef Boyar woman is making the food for the men and signing their paychecks, but they're not in the front lines getting killed, are they? So it's
Well, I
very
mean,
nice.
unless they're a
It sure is
stronger
nice that
man.
you want the right to vote, that to send men to wars that you yourself don't have to fight.
So, to clarify, do you think that women should have the right to vote or not?
No.
No.
Okay. Do you guys
But I
agree
also-
with this?
I
But-
do agree with
but-
him.
hang on,
Can I say
stop,
why I
stop.
agree, though?
I'm
Can I
glad
say
that
No,
why
you
no.
I
agree
agree?
with
Let me
feminism
finish
is
the
now.
point.
Thank
Yet
you.
I always answer directly.
I
but
disagree.
You still have to answer to the caveat. No, but I also don't think most people should have the right to
Agree.
vote.
I disagree with you, but that's
Can I
okay.
can
We
I
can
say
agree to
why I
disagree.
agree with Andrew though? Because most women and some of these new up and coming men that are voting, they vote on emotion and they just watch
You
the
can't-
news
that's
and
not an
vote for who
answer.
they're told to
You
vote
can't-
for.
You can't just be like, I don't like who you're voting for, therefore you can't
It's
have
not
the right to
about-
vote. That's
it's not-
ridiculous.
it's
It's
not-
not
you
your
don't
say.
even-
She's literally just missing the point, but that's the point they want to bring. There's no facts and there's no skin in the game. That's what they're trying to get across.
Let me
Why
finish.
can't we do that? Yeah,
You
why
won't
can't
let
we
me
do that?
finish.
A democracy is literally about letting everybody.
We don't have a democracy.
No, we
live
don't
in
have
a
democracy
republic,
anymore.
not
It's
a
a republic.
democracy.
We were found on a republic. And if you
Republican
sit there and
democracy
say that everybody should have the right to vote when they're blindly voting because they're voting because of their famous people are telling them how to vote and they're not actually educating themselves on the facts, I don't think all right people, I don't think everybody should have the right to
What
vote.
if I don't think you're educating yourself on the facts? And I
No
think
matter
you're
who
misled?
wins for the votes, y'all still gonna be mad. So
It's
who
like,
No,
for
literally.
instance,
Yeah.
Kanye West. It's like, for instance, Kanye
That
West
was a
on
dumb
the ballot.
comment.
And the majority of the 18, 19, and 20-year-old voted for Kanye West because who he was. I do not think that everybody should have the right to vote because they
Okay.
don't vote on fact. They
a lot
vote on
of
emotion.
people, even in their 40s and 50s and 60s, vote for whatever headlines are telling them and rage baiting them. Oh, this is how lefties are. This is how conservatives are. This is how liberals are. And then they just interpret that and vote
Yeah.
accordingly. A
But
lot
this
of
is
people
Sounds like
coming
they-
from
sounds
someone
like
that's
they
from
shouldn't be
Canada
voting.
and
Yes,
has been
69.
ruled.
Yeah,
I'm
hey,
from
that's great.
America.
Sounds like they
I
shouldn't
was
be
born in
voting.
the States
Great
and I
point.
grew up in New York, okay? I moved to Canada 4 years ago. Relax.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Wow,
Yeah,
wow,
so
wow,
it sounds
wow,
like-
wow. Let's just give her applause, man. Wow. Wow, you moved to New York to Canada. Wow. Let me just give you an applause for that.
If
Well,
you think that those
goddamn.
old people also are voting irresponsibly, that we probably shouldn't let them vote. That seems
I
very
don't
pretty
think-
stupid, right?
I think if you live in a country, you should be able to vote in it. That's
Why?
That's so irresponsible.
Based on
That's how
what?
democracy works. It's very simple. If I live in a country, I should be able to have
Monarchies
a say in
work.
how it
What's your
works.
point?
Here's a democracy question. So,
Hang on. Let me finish with it real quick. Monarchies work. So what's your point? Just saying, oh, because it works. Well, all sorts of systems of government
No, I'm saying-
work.
I'm saying it's only fair.
Oppressive governments work. Non-oppressive governments work. All sorts
I mean,
of
I would
governments
argue
work.
that oppressive governments don't work, but we can agree to disagree.
They do work. That's why they're oppressive. What are you talking about? North Korea, even if you don't like it, North Korea having their system they have for so long means that it does work. We don't like the results. It's disgusting, but it does work.
Yes, they do work. Wait, I'm sorry.
They're not
How do
working
they
in
not
benefit
work?
for the people. I think a goal of the government is to actually benefit the people. So if a
And
government
I'm
is
sorry,
oppressive, I don't think it's working.
In order to benefit
wait.
the
Let me get this.
people.
Let me get this right. I'm sorry.
That's the
You
ultimate
think
goal.
that the
Does it always
government's
do that?
job?
No.
Can I just
No,
say this?
let
In
them
order
go back
to
and
You think
forth.
that the
benefit-
government? No, you can't. Let us finish our argument here. Calm down, lady. So, you're saying that governments themselves are supposed to be there on behalf of the people,
Yes,
correct?
that's what they're
That's
supposed
what you
to
think?
do. I don't think they always
Can
end
you
up doing
explain
that.
why a monarchy is not?
Because a monarchy usually doesn't end up like that. When you have one person with power, they usually end up looking out for themselves and not caring about everybody else.
It's not one person with power.
Okay.
They have nobles, they have franklins, they have land stewards, they had knights, they had all sorts of different things which were in the upper aristocratic class,
What is your
which,
point
by the
here?
way, hang on, let me finish, lady. It's exactly what you got right now, an aristocratic class, and then you have an underclass. Do you agree or disagree?
That I agree with.
Yeah, so then what's your point?
My point is that everybody should have the right to vote. If you live in a country,
Why?
you should be able to have
She
a
don't
say
even
in
know.
how it works.
She's just
and how it
saying that
runs.
she cannot defend why everybody should have the right to vote. It's like, because I would feel like it. I feel that everybody should have the right to vote, which is a stupid statement. If we want a very responsible country, let's say we can give the right to vote to everybody. So that means that everybody needs to have a skin in the game. They have to have skin in the game. We cannot simply just allow 12, 14, 16, or 8. Some of these Democrats, they want even 16 years old to vote. It's insane, folks. We're heading that way. We cannot allow that to happen.
Hey, why should
Because you
You just
live
keep
in the
asserting
country.
it. You
You
keep
live
asserting
in
it,
the
but you're not giving an
country.
argument. You just say
If
because I
you-
want it.
It's yeah, literally. Thank you. Look,
wait,
you
can I
live
ask-
in the country. You should be able.
Can I
to
ask the
say.
question?
So what? That's not a should claim.
I
Saying
think
I
it
should be
is.
able to
If
do
you
this
live in a
because I
country,
should.
you
All
should
you're
have a
saying is
say.
this. Hang on. All you're saying is this. I should be able to. Yeah, no
Been
problem.
allowed to come in.
Honor the gods donated $100. Girl in black, feel shame for your past, regret it, then rise above it. Your value is higher than the 2 Delianus W50 plus body counter mentality is on the rig.
Damn.
Thank you.
Thank you. Honor the gods. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you. Go ahead, Andrew.
Saying.
So anyway, all these forms of government work fine. I don't know why you keep on saying they didn't work. Of course they worked. I mean, we
Okay,
can
no,
point to
because
history
most
and
of the
some.
people
Hang
didn't
on,
have
let
a
me finish before you start spurging,
Sorry,
and then I'll let you talk. Just calm
Yeah.
down.
I need to
Okay?
be right.
Just
It's so
so
strong.
You know, when I'm talking and you're talking, I can't hear you, and I want to hear your argument. Okay. So, going back to this, of course, those governments worked. They worked fine. You can say that they didn't work as well. That could be an argument. This type of thing. But you're still not answering the question of should. Why should they, other than you just want them to?
I genuinely believe that a democracy is only actually a democracy if the people who are citizens of that state have a right to vote in how it runs. That's it.
Yeah, but that doesn't give us a reason why it should be a
What are you looking
democracy or
for?
why
I don't
people
understand.
should.
Because to me, that is a
Hey,
reason.
Can
Are
I
you
ask?
gonna-
But it's
a question?
not. But it's not a reason, right? You have to give something. You're saying you're feeling like everybody should have the right to vote, which is not problem. There's no problem, but you have to give a reason why they should have the right to vote. What is the mechanism that they can give and defend, right, that argument? Right? You can tell me like, okay, because those people that are voting, at least that they have the capability to defend that vote, whether it's men or women, no problem. But you have to give that reason. We're not hitting anything.
Okay, but that's not a justified reason. You're just saying they should because they should because they should.
Because you live in the country. You should have a say if you live in the country. That's
Why?
it. Because you're not a free citizen if you don't have a say in how it runs. I think
Why? Why would you not be free if you didn't have a say in how things ran?
Because if
You don't have a say in how almost anything on planet Earth is run,
As an
including in your
individual, yeah, you're
nation.
right.
Do you consider yourself free because you can vote?
No,
Into the mic.
as an individual, no, I don't. Like, I don't think my individual impact is going to do anything unless I'm extremely rich with like billions of dollars. But I'm
And what
not.
the hell are you talking about?
As a whole, people collectively, right? If no woman can vote, then women don't have a say at all. But if one
You would
woman
still
can vote,
have,
it still
even
wouldn't
if you
make a
took
difference.
suffrage, hang on, even if you took suffrage and you were to limit suffrage, you would still have collective voting. It's just that not every fucking idiot could vote. What the hell would be wrong with
You
that?
can't
Why do
make
you
it-
want
it's
every
not-
moron? Hang on. Why do you want every moron on earth to be able to vote? That's
I'm
the
not saying
stupidest thing I've ever
every
heard.
person should vote. I'm not saying if you're 15, you're 12, you're 11, you should vote. Okay, I do think
Why?
that there should be.
Yeah,
a
but how
limit.
come?
Because at some point you're just too young to understand the dynamics.
Yeah. Okay, so kids are dumb?
No, not. I mean, sure. Okay.
Yeah, that. Hey. He just keeps speaking facts.
That's hilarious, honestly.
Well, I mean, isn't that what you're saying? You don't
No, I'm
want
just saying
a
they're
13-year-old to
learning.
vote because they're fucking dumb,
I think
right?
you're being dishonest right now. I think it's
I
pretty.
think
Ah,
I'm
tone
being
policing.
that everybody in this
I think
panel.
it's pretty obvious why you wouldn't want a 16-year-old
Again,
voting.
what's the obvious? Okay, so why?
Because what a 16-year-old is busy in high school, like studying for their tests, hanging out with their friends. They don't care
Oh,
about
yeah,
politics.
they're way more busy than adults who are working 60 hours a week.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah, they're so busy.
Most
Oh, they're
adults
just too
aren't
busy.
voting. The reality is, like, a third of Americans are voting.
I mean, what is her argument? She's not really saying anything substantive. She's just spurging right now.
Yeah, but so what? The point is that they all can, and
Yeah, and I
15-year-olds
think that's
can't.
good.
Why shouldn't 15-year-olds be able to vote then?
Come on.
'Cause they don't
use
have the
your
knowledge.
common sense.
Oh, dude, that's not an argument.
Literally,
That's
I
infidelity.
gave it
Don't
to
care
you
about
already. Why are you
infidelity. Make
asking
an
me to
argument.
repeat myself 17 times? I told you, they're too young, they're in high school, they're focused on other things, they don't
Wow.
care about politics. And even if they wanted to, they don't understand the dynamics of it. If you want
So
to argue
you're
that
saying-
18
so
is
you're
still
saying-
too young and you think 25 should be the limit of
Perfect.
voting, maybe we could have a conversation there. But I don't think that saying women shouldn't vote is a good solution. I think that's ridiculous.
So wait a
Agree to
second. So
disagree.
at 17 years and 11 months, you're too stupid to vote. At 18 years old, you're smart enough now to vote,
Jesus
correct?
Christ.
That's what I was saying. If you want to have an argument about when the proper age to vote is, we could have that argument, but I don't
Yeah,
think
but the
saying...
point of the argument is the reason you think that young people shouldn't be able to vote is because they're too dumb. Not because they're wrapped up with high school, which takes 6 hours a day, and where their parents are working 10 to
think
12
it's
hours a
both.
day,
Like,
and they're still
that's-
out there voting.
I think it's plenty
It's
of-
clearly not because they're in fucking high school. It's because you think they're dumb.
I think it's both. I think they're both
you don't gotta
stupid
let
and they're
them
also
win.
focused on their own
Right, so
world.
why should we let stupid people vote? Tell me.
The democracy functions in such a way that even people you disagree with have the right to vote. It doesn't matter if you think they're really, really,
Just
really
She's
asserting
not-
what
she's
is,
not-
what
I
ought
am
be.
telling
Why
you
should
what-
we let the stupid people vote?
The
Why should we
reason-
let them vote?
Literally, like, I don't just,
Can I
Yeah.
ask?
asking me the same questions over and over, and
Can
I'm
I
giving you the
ask
Yeah,
a
same
'cause you
question?
won't answer.
Brian, go
I
ahead.
am answering, you
I'll
just don't
explain.
like my
Hang on, I'll break it
answer.
down. I'll break it down super simple.
Can I just ask one question?
There's,
Nope.
hang on, there's is and there's ought. What is true is not what
Well,
I'm
right
asking
now,
you.
what is true is that
Stop-
everyone
Stop
has-
talking so I can finish this. That way we don't go in a circle. What is true is not what ought be true. So when you just keep on giving me the descriptor of, but that's how democracies work, though, I don't give a shit.
Well, how it
how they
is right
work. I'm
now.
asking you why we ought to have, what is the justification
Yeah.
for why every idiot should vote? What is it?
I'm sorry. Are you basically saying that you think everybody you
That's
disagree
not. She's answering with a question. She's trying to avoid what is obvious here.
with shouldn't have the right to vote? I just want to clarify.
No, he's
No,
just
that's
saying
not what I
stupid
said.
people shouldn't
Okay,
vote.
so if you think a 30-year-old is really dumb, should they have the right to vote or no?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I don't think dumb people should vote. No.
I agree.
Okay, well, I disagree.
Okay.
Yeah,
But yeah,
disagree.
but why?
That's what
But
I'm
why?
asking. So that's what I'm asking. Why ought dumb people be able to vote? Not now.
Because we
without
live in a
telling me.
democracy.
Hang on. Without telling me, because that is the way it works. Because I don't give a shit about that. I'm asking about ought.
I
Why
didn't
ought
say
it
that
work
once.
that way?
Every single time I've answered your question, I told you because they live in the country and they should therefore have a right to have some sort of say in how it functions.
asking
even if it's
why.
minimal.
Yeah, but that's circular. So let me explain how that's circular.
Wow.
When I say why should they, you say because they should.
Our public
And
system
I say
has.
why? You say because they live here.
Our public education system has failed so bad. And mind you, folks, a lot of. I really don't know whether it's the public education system or it's just individuals, right? Because it comes down to a point where can you get the same result if you ask somebody that has a PhD or a master's degree? Can you get something similar to this? Or you might get a more elaborated question because clearly, there's something here that's missing. If you guys know, let me know in the comment section below.
I
I
say, why
say-
is living here? Hang on. I say, why, if they're living here, does that mean they should have the right to vote? And you say, because they live here. And I say, yeah, but why should that entitle them to voting? You say because it does.
That's simple, because they live here. Even if you disagree with them, you think they're really stupid, even if you think they're just following Taylor Swift or Kanye West or whatever it is, I don't care how much of a sheep you think they are. A democracy means even the people you disagree with have the right to vote.
GMD Jim donated $69. We do not live in a democracy. Stop saying that. A democracy is mob rules. We live in a republic.
A Republican
Just because
democracy.
you breathe air does not mean you shoo.
Oh, really? We were founded as a republic. Could everybody vote?
No.
No.
When we were founded as a republic, not everybody could vote.
When we were founded as a republic, could everyone vote or not, lady?
No.
No. Okay, wait. I thought that a republic was a democracy.
I
and
said
in
a
democracy, everyone
Republican
can vote.
democracy. I never said Republican. I never said a Republican is a democracy. I said
Right.
But you're saying we live in a democracy, and that's the problem. When the United States was founded, they were literally not thinking for everybody to have the right to vote. That was later on because people wanted to just get more votes, and plus the Civil War that has a lot to do with it. But at the same time, I mean, man, can you blame her? Can you really blame her? She go through the entire public education system or the private education system, and you go through college telling you, hey, you live in a democracy, everybody should vote.
we live
So then
in
we
a
don't live
Republican
in a democracy, do we?
We live in one currently, yes.
No,
because
we live in a
Republic of the
republic,
United
and there have been
States, not the
democratic voting rights which
democracy
have
of the
been
United
extended.
States.
These are two different concepts.
But currently, we live in a democratic republic.
We live in a republic
Republican
where democratic measures are used, but you can limit suffrage. There's nothing saying that you can't.
Yeah, but I think the way you
my
want to
question
limit
is,
is
why
extreme.
shouldn't we do that? That's my question. Why shouldn't we? You just say because we
Because
live here.
I
Ooh,
think
oh,
stupid
okay,
people-
great. Well, I live here and I don't want that, so I guess it's fine, right? We
Every-
won't do it.
If you share a house with somebody, right, and you have a whole family, and somebody who wants to have a say, able to because they're stupid, you've decided you actually don't like them.
Yeah, if they're stupid and they live in my house, I don't want them to have a say in what
No,
goes
you
on
all
in their
share the
room.
house. It's
They're
not
too
yours.
dumb.
You share the house. Your roommates.
Yeah.
What?
They're not your children. You share the house. So now everybody's paying equally. He
Yeah,
wants
but
to-
what if, so inside of the house, the decisions they make inside of the house in their room, like I don't know, leaving rotten food out and stuff like that because they're fucking stupid, affects me, right?
Sure.
Yeah, so then I would have every business going in and saying, hey, why don't you clean up that fucking shit that's everywhere that
Sure, but you're
affects
not
me?"
gonna control
And
the
they go,
whole
oh,
world.
what do you mean? I'm dumb. I'm just dumb. I can't help it. I'm stupid.
Okay, but should he still not have a say in what goes on in the house or in his own room?
No, because he's creating bugs.
Well, it seems that the responsible thing would be to have the house run by a person who can run the house, not a person who'd leave rotten
You're all
food out because they're
sharing
stupid, right?
You're all sharing it. You guys are like living in a 4-bedroom.
Oh,
apartment.
this is the egalitarian on her coming in, and I don't know if you guys have the experience, but if you stay with female roommates, you will understand why they hate each other and why their system of egalitarians cannot work. They cannot do chores without telling each other how to do things equally. Zero leadership. It's bad, and there's drama every 2 seconds. Why? Because they lack the hierarchy to group them to put themselves in a position where things can flow, smoothly. And this is what's going on here. She thinks that because you live in this house, you have a say in this house. No, you live in this house, and if you do not contribute anything to this house, you don't have a say at all. But she's saying that just because you live in the house, that should give you the right to say something. No.
Man, everybody's splitting
Yeah,
the
but
rent.
why does that mean that it's equal? Because we're
Why
all sharing
he's
it.
paying for his portion? Why should he pay? If you don't want them to vote, then don't charge them taxes.
Why would you not charge them taxes?
Because they can't vote. They can't have a say in how you're using the taxes. Why should you get to take money from them and be like, but you actually can't tell us how we're going to use it, though?
Well, wait a second. I'm super confused. So, do you think you have a say in where your taxes go right
No,
now?
I don't think you have a say, but when you vote, you do
Well,
have
then
at
what
least
the
a little
fuck
bit of
are
an
you
impact.
talking about? I'm sorry, does the IRS send you a little
I am
ledger and
not
say, here's
arguing-
where your
I'm not
taxes
arguing
went?
that
Hang
the
on,
US is
IRS goes,
perfect.
here's where your taxes went. Your taxes went to social services and the military and this and that. Not, did they send you a letter saying, oh, your taxes went to this black ops that you hate?
I am
this
not arguing.
Your taxes went to this. Your taxes, the IRS doesn't send you a ledger telling you where your taxes go.
Killer of Cereal donated $69. Wanna get some coffee? Sure. Where from? Get some coffee. Yeah, sure. Sure? Yeah, I'd like some coffee. Okay, let's go to get some coffee. Where from?
If you guys can,
And by the way, let me
Conversation
just
feels
finish
like-
it
I
off this way. Even if I grant your argument and tell you, okay, fine, don't charge them taxes, and then they don't vote. Fair enough. Just so you know, most people in the United States, are not a net positive on the tax base. So
They got out of topic here, but it's true. There's more people taking from the taxes than paying on the system. So that's another one. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'm going to leave the original link in the description down below. I'll see you in the next one.